You know, I've said it for years. I said that they do not want us on social media. And I warn that those of us who are participating in false flagging other brothers and sisters uh, channels or profiles on other forms of social media, we're gonna catch hell for this because once we start attacking each other, our numbers dwindle. And what happened is the people who have common sense, the people who are aware or see or analyze media for what it is, politics for what it is, once you get us out of the way, you have a bunch of, I hate to say this, nincompoops running around, putting up videos of people in fights, people in compromised sexual positions, you name it. You got and the thing is they want to dumb down the internet for a certain group of people while at the same time they want the internet to be a place where hate speech can thrive. And not just on the internet, you had radio stations, you had public access, you had local newscasts, certain television shows, and whatnot. And you have to thank Ronald Reagan and his administration back in the 80s for getting rid of the fairness doctrine. And a lot of people have been yelling for the last 30 something years that we're going to pay for this. And now 30 years worth of hate has been put out there. And now chickens have come home to roost. But the thing is, when you notice who's out there preaching and promoting their hate, it ain't us. But they got to sit there and say we are. Because they don't want us to be seen as the ones who've been saying, I told you so. Now, I've stated this in many other commentaries. I don't agree with everybody within the black community. I respect our elders. I respect their place in history. I respect Mr. Farrakhan. Do I agree with everything Mr. Farrakhan says? No. But usually the brother is on point. Do I respect everything Reverend Jackson has said and done? No. But I respect what the brother's done in history. Same thing Reverend Sharpton, Malcolm X, Dr. King, you name it. But when you have people claiming to be our friends and allies, have sat here and set out to find a false equivalent to white supremacy or these hate groups like the Klan and neo-Nazis and skinheads, you sit there and say, they're not our allies. Today, Facebook, which owns Instagram, decided to remove Mr. Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam profile. Now, I told y'all, I said it was a matter of time when they went after Alex Jones and Miley Yiannopoulos and these other extremists, that they would go after Mr. Farrakhan, the new Black Panther Party, and even people like you and I, just for even talking about it or pointing out the hypocrisy or the lopsided response to things. Now, I can talk firsthand about having my channels come under fire from jealous-hearted brothers and sisters or brothers and sisters who have invited people over into our corner of YouTube and or people have discovered our channels just in passing who just look at the title or look at an image or hear a few things and don't really listen to what we got to say. The Nation of Islam, Rainbow Push, any other black organization is not the villain of the story. We do not tell our people to go out there and attack other people. We do not say take our country back when in fact our ancestors have built and maintained this country. We don't when our people are murdered and it's caught on camera, we don't go out there and say, hey, go out there and deal with this. We don't do that. We don't have a cable network that's geared to hate, to spreading lies. And I ain't talking about just misinformation, straight up lies. We don't have any true black voices out in the media. But what happened was black folk out here, myself and you, realized that, hey, social media can be used in a more positive way. We can talk about the daily events in New York, California, Chicago, Minnesota, Arkansas, whatever we had. But also we can share stories that only we could understand or things that we need to focus on. If it wasn't for black social media, we would have never known about Trayvon Martin. Black Lives Matter would have never gained any steam. We wouldn't be able to talk about the missing and exploited black boys and black girls out there, but because we're doing something other than these other groups are doing, they gotta find somebody to say hate speech. This is why I do not respect the Southern part of the law, because they disingenuous. Every time they mention Mr. Farrakhan, they say anti-Semitic. They know that's a trigger for a particular group of people. Mr. Farrakhan ain't said nothing anti-Semitic. I've been researching Mr. Farrakhan, and I'm gonna tell you what it is. He called out the hypocrisy of certain members of the Jewish community. They keep talking about what he said 35 years ago. They never played what he said in its full context. And he's even stated, he said, I want them to play it unedited on the major networks, on the cable networks, and nobody never would challenge. They would never do it. If you think he's such an anti-Semite, play it. Y'all, we talk about Hitler every day in this country. Some cable program is talking about World War II, Hitler, Stalin, or some other bad guy or somebody that wanted to rule the world. Let me tell y'all where the Nation of Islam started having his issues at. Mike Wallace, the late Mike Wallace. His son Chris Wallace currently works with at Fox Clan. Mike Wallace did a report 60-some years ago. The hate they hate produce. The hate they hate produce. Basically, you're saying that black folks are hateful because we have the audacity to push back and call out a certain white people. Or not, or we don't choose the nicey words to go around. Y'all want that black person to go in like, well, you know what, you shouldn't say that. Instead of brother saying, nah, you dirty bastard, you ain't gonna get away with saying this. You're not gonna put your hands on my brothers and sisters or my children. You're not gonna do it. They don't like that. Because then you're telling them you can't exploit our community. And I'm not gonna put it all on Mike Wallace, but that's one of the programs that help push that narrative that the Nation of Islam is anti-American, anti-white. That's BS. There are men and women who are Muslim, black Muslim, who serve in the United States military, various branches, who are police officers, doctors, and lawyers, who are law-abiding citizens. Yes, there's certain things that the Nation of Islam are not allowed. But guess what? Mr. Farrakhan even changed about gay marriage. He said he's not out here to hurt these gay brothers and sisters. Because y'all don't play those speeches. He's even went and broke bread with Jewish men and women, and even had people who are Jewish defend him. Governor Randall. You used to see on TV all the time. He defended Farrakhan. Joe Lieberman, before he stopped flip-flopping, even defended Farrakhan. There are Jewish men and women here in the Chicago area who have influence, have met with Mr. Farrakhan. And there's some who said, well, you can be a friend of the Jewish community if you do this. And Mr. Farrakhan said, do you give anybody else any preconditions? He said, what about your preconditions? Remember, those people who out here criticizing Farrakhan, they criticize Dr. King. We forget that. The same people claiming to love Muhammad Ali forget Muhammad Ali was a member of the Nation of Islam. They brought in the teachings of the Lord Elijah Muhammad. What it is that y'all don't like any black man or black woman, but especially a black man, to tell you where you can go. That's not hate speech. That's somebody being honest with you, telling you how you going to judge me. You know that famous clip that we see where Mike Wallace and Farrakhan checked him? Mike Wallace couldn't say anything. How in the hell are you going to judge me or my people and look at you? So when you look at who's over these so-called liberal, and I got to call them liberal organizations, because that's the ones pushing this. Yeah, you might have some people on the right that try it, but it's mostly so-called liberals. See, and I know y'all, those who are not black, going to be shocked. There are a lot of black folk who ain't down with the Democratic Party or so-called liberals, because we know how they get down. But because of y'all blind allegiance in defense of racism, we can't get down with y'all. Both of y'all the same bird. One got a wing on the right, one got a wing on the left. And we sitting like, nah, we can't get down with y'all like that. I remember when I was a kid, and I said this before in commentaries, when I was sitting and watching news and hear them say, the Nation of Islam, Mr. Farrakhan said this, da, 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 da. But then I turn around and see Sam Donaldson or Ted Koppel or Peter Jennings or somebody, Phil Donahue, interviewing Farrakhan. And when I listen to him, I'm like, he ain't said nothing. What he's saying here, he ain't said nothing. What they saying there? I remember my mother and father didn't even want us to. They thought they like, oh, Nation of Islam hate America, they hate God, and I'm like, huh? But at the same time, say Malcolm X is a great man, and the reason why they were saying because they said, well, Malcolm was not part of the Nation of Islam anymore. That was an internal struggle. It was more nuanced than anybody knew. But one day, my mother, we was out and about, and my mother, I can't remember what exactly happened. But somewhere this brother had asked my mother, would you like to buy? And she said no. Something, can't remember exactly anymore because, like I said, a lot of times these stuff blur because so much happened at that time. And I think my mother had a different sense of respect for them because they didn't, the way they treated her, responded to her and the people around. And she bought the newspaper. And I read it, and then she said, let me read it. And we sitting there, she said, huh. She said, he's talking about the daily events like the other newspapers. Or talking about issues that affect the black community. I'm like, okay. But still, they wasn't a fan. Because like they've been brought up to believe that Jesus, Baptist church, Christian, that kind of thing. Until one day I was watching TV, and I'm watching an interview with Mr. Farrakhan. I'm like, for them say this guy has hated him, he should seem very calm and seem to be rational. As a little boy, I thought that. But then that whole thing about Jesse Jackson, the Town, and then the whole thing when Minister Farrakhan talk about what's he said about the Jewish people? I can't think of the name. I can't think of what the saying was. And somebody help me. I'm going blank right now. I'm like, he said that. And then when they put a microphone in his face, he said, I didn't say that. He said, you're twisting my words. You're taking them out of context. He said, play the entire sermon. And I couldn't find that Farrakhan gives a long sermon. And I think that's probably one of the reasons why the media do what they do. They know he just can't get no 10-minute speech. They know that he got to give examples so people can understand. Like when I do my commentaries, when I talk about a subject, I might say, something happened to me, or something that I know happened to somebody, or I remember hearing a story, and so you can have some connection to understand. So you just go out there and say, yeah, this is what happened in today's news. Rachel Maddow, she even do the same thing on MSNBC. If you watch her show, she give you a history lesson, let you know that this stuff has happened before. Are there some black folk out here that say some kooky things? Yeah, but I tell people, you step back and observe and listen. Use common sense. I don't tell people to go boycott, even these white supremacist groups. I say, hey man, they stay in their corner of the social media world, we stay in ours. But if they come over, then you go out there and you flag them down, and they come over here bothering you, you block them. But running to tell YouTube and Facebook, for years black folks complained and they didn't say nothing. But now all of a sudden you see a bunch of these killers who happen to be a large number of white, Indian, Asian, Arab, or even Hispanic. Now people have got nervous now, but a large number of them are white. So now they got to find their equivalent or what they perceive to be their equivalent. And I'm telling y'all right now, all that dirt we was doing among each other, false flagging the other channels, bringing white supremacists or these people to our channels to cause drama, I said all you did was give these people more power. But now those channels are getting taken down. They coming to Farrakhan and other people's defense now. Because they saying now they're going to hide behind the freedom of speech. Because you know what they're going to do? They're going to either wait for the Nation of Islam or some black person to start yelling. I'm going to tell you something. Black Facebook, Black Twitter, Black YouTube got more ammunition than you think when it comes down to present a lawsuit. Because we know how our channels have been taken down. This is why I kept telling y'all, I said, y'all watch your channels. I said, you gotta pay attention how they troll them. They don't want us on these social media sites. They don't want us being a counterbalance to anything that's hateful. Like I said, I don't expect everybody to agree with me, but never have I ever pushed a video like an Alex Jones or a Milo or say things like Laura Ingraham or Rush Limbaugh. For 30-something years, these people had a voice. And now all of a sudden, the chickens are coming home to roost. They say, uh-oh, we just can't be seen going after white people. We got to go after the... Mr. Farrakhan's not a right-wing extremist. They keep talking about he's an anti-Semite. Now, let me tell you something. During the Obama years, you better hurt anybody mention Mr. Farrakhan. As soon as Donald Trump get in office, and these white supremacists and these hate groups start showing their ass, they say, uh-oh, we got to find the black equivalent. All of a sudden, Farrakhan stopped popping up the last 2 years. All through the Obama years, they didn't say nothing. Reverend Wright was the boogeyman. When the Ricketts father, the head of the Ricketts family, got found out, they and another thing, some of these extremists on social media, they're Jewish. And you scratching your head. I'm trying to figure that one out. I'm like, huh? They don't even want me and you talking about gentrification. They don't want us talking about men being responsible, women being responsible, children being responsible. How's their hate speech? They had to find a black equivalent to justify them taking down white channels. They know damn well that Minister Farrakhan, Jesse Jackson and them are not the equivalent of Alex Jones, the neo-Nazis, and skinheads. They'll put a twerking video up of us. They see our women being exploited. They put gang-banging videos up. They put videos of people showing off guns, black and white, and nothing. When we was complaining about the racist imagery on social media, nobody said nothing. But what happened was this election of Donald Trump got everybody's head twisted. If I was the Nation of Islam, I would sue. Facebook is a publicly traded company. They're going after freedom of speech. You see, we need to start talking that stuff. And you know what? And guess what? You know what? If the Nation of Islam lawyers are smart, they say, wait a minute, tell us what we said it was hateful. Point out the specific video and play it its entirety. Then challenge the network to play what the Nation of Islam and any of us have said on social media versus those extremist groups. And I guarantee you, night and day. Guaranteed. Yes, you're going to get some brothers and sisters out here who are going to say some hateful things, and usually it's out of anger, out of reaction to one of us being hurt or being murdered and not getting justice. That's natural. Like when I hear white people lash out at something that happened to them, and there's a black person, if they lash out without going to racializing something, I say, I can understand that anger. I get it. There's a difference, but then you start going, well, black people ain't this, the ghetto, rap, and the baby daddies, and the drugs, and all this other HIV. You sit there, wait, whoa. But I warned this is going to happen. I said, you think they're gonna stop at Alex Jones? Watch, they come for Farrakhan next, and they're gonna go after black celebrities. Like you got your D.L. Hughley's. You got any black person that's famous, got a social media presence, they're going to go after them. They're going to start telling you can't say this on the internet. This is why when Donald Trump picked that Indian dude to talk about the internet and everything, how they want to regulate the internet, it was more from a business standpoint. Yahoo and Google got too much control. They got too much control over the internet. See, the problem is they realize that blacks and we got hip. We communicate with each other. A lot of the news stories we talk about, you go to these states, they copying from us. I know, me and a couple other YouTubers that spoke about this over the years. The Young Turks are notorious for watching our commentaries and then talking about, like, wait a minute, we talked about this months ago. And then a lot of them don't realize that we watch the news and pay attention. When we was warning y'all about Bill Cosby, a lot of y'all was attacking us. And we said, okay, watch and see what's going to happen. Watch your stuff start coming out, because it always does. Now you got black folks saying, damn, Cosby got set up. When I kept doing that, I told you so, y'all like, oh, you just saying stuff. And then when it just started happening, wow, how did you know? God said the most powerful thing you can do as a person, especially as a black person, step back and observe, listen, then analyze, then you sit there and give your opinion. I told y'all, I said, hey, that's not true. Don't buy that. How you know? I'm like, because I'm listening. I'm a student of history. I'm telling you, I know better. See, what happened was they shut down Alex Jones and them. I saw people on the right or people on the left. What about such and such? What about such and such? There's always a black person name they drop. Mr. Farrakhan is not on social media like that. I'm telling you what they're doing. Any clips of Minister Farrakhan on social media are going to be they're going to take it down. That's the whole way of purging. They're purging black images and black voices. You could, I mean, even if you put a disclaimer up, they say hate speech. And I hope the Nation of Islam lawyers can push back against that. And I hope they get fellow black people that's on Facebook who is, or YouTube or Instagram who say, wait a minute, this is history of them doing this, silencing our voices way before Alex Jones and these other people. Why do you think the Klan got such a presence on the internet? Because people didn't care. People started talking about monitoring the internet when they realized black folks are starting to get on the internet. See, as long as you and I were just watching TV and listen to the radio and gossip among each other, that was cool. Ask yourself why, during the 8 years of Obama, they had black people on social media. They didn't say, well, you know what, there's some people on social media that have a consistent fan base. Why don't we interview them and get their opinions? They don't want to talk to us. Minister Farrakhan going to black radio shows and they ask them legit, and some of the people have been tough on Farrakhan. And Farrakhan said, do you ask your white guests these questions? He said, if you think I'm what the media has presented all these years, play what I said in its entirety. That's my challenge to the cable network. They ain't gonna die if they play 4 or 5 of his speeches in its entirety. They're not gonna die if they play with Dr. King, not the edited Dr. King, the Dr. King that a lot of us have come to know, the real Dr. King. We call out white supremacy. We call out the Jewish community. We talked about deviant behavior. Y'all romanticize Muhammad Ali now. Go back and play the Muhammad Ali that was sounding like Malcolm and Mr. Farrakhan. Y'all just start liking Muhammad Ali till he starts shaking. Y'all afraid of black people speaking truth to power. So what you do, you lump us in the same category as hate groups. That's why the Southern Poverty Law and them are disingenuous. Like today's Holocaust Remembrance Day. Everybody, they mention today's Holocaust Remembrance Day. You don't see black people on social media saying negative things. We ain't saying nothing, or we say never forget. You ain't never hear me praise Adolf Hitler. That dude was rotten to the core. But yet y'all turn around and compare our brothers and sisters to Hitler. Tell me what a black person has done to y'all what a white person has done to us. Y'all call Farrakhan Hitler. Where has Farrakhan told black folks to go do harm to Jewish people? See, this is where you got to call out the hypocrisy of these companies. And see, who owns Facebook? Mark Zuckerberg. Come on, folks. It don't take much to figure out why. He owns Instagram. A lot of y'all need to know y'all history. Mr. Farrakhan sat down with Jewish leaders. He sat down with Jewish businessmen. And a lot of them have said he's not anti-Semite, but they're afraid to say it loud or the media ignores it. My challenge to you is to do your own investigating. A lot of the like that people talk about the Black Panther Party, Megyn Kelly, Laura Ingraham, Bill O'Reilly, Sean Hannity, Alwyn Fox for a good 8 years or so longer has said the Black Panther Party are terrorists. They're out there trying to stop people from voting. None of that is true. They vilified Black Lives Matter. I'm like, how can y'all vilify Black Lives Matter? All they saying was treat black people as human beings. Now, we in the black community knew it was an ulterior motive. It was more for the gay community to hide behind. Are y'all gonna ban the Me Too movement on the internet? Because they whole times up. Their whole focus seemed like to vilify the black man. Since y'all want to talk about hate speech and sending misinformation. Are you gonna shut down ABC, CBS, and NBC and Fox and MSNBC's Facebook and Instagram because they've spread lies over the years too? Are you gonna shut down these major investment companies because they screwed black people out of our money? These real estate companies out of land and stuff. I mean, if you're gonna go after question behavior and what's been said, there's a lot of people need to get off social media right now. Are you going to boycott Ford for having any commercials on Facebook and Instagram or whatever? Remember, Henry Ford was racist. Whether he been dead, how many years he been dead, his company's found on racism. Walt Disney Corporation. Are y'all going to start saying, you know what, Walt Disney was racist too? Are we going to stop going after the studios that have promoted these negative images of black folk? Are we going to boycott these schools that got these Confederate names or statues in front of it and say, hey, you can't be on social media? You can't. Nah, They don't want to see. If you really want to be fair about boycotting or banning or removing something, you need to look at everybody and you need to look at them as separate entities. I'm not an Alex Jones fan. None of those people fan. But I never said go for false flag them or boycott them. I say it's up to you. I said I prefer you not mention their names or try to send me links to them. I already know what they own. I remember Alex Jones was starting out. He made all that money and made a name of himself. Megyn Kelly even interviewed him when she first went to NBC. It was her first interview. Y'all legitimize these people, and then they sit out there and they talking to unstable ass, uneducated people. They go out and act out certain things. In our community, the worst thing you see in our community is blacks emulating black celebrities. But I have yet to hear of a black man going off and doing mass murder because of Minister Farrakhan said so. Farrakhan never said those things. He said defend yourself. He said we need to control our money. He said we need to quit inviting everybody into our history lesson. I'm paraphrasing, of course. I'm telling y'all, they going after Farrakhan. Who's next? There are a lot of black folks who Facebook channels and stuff been taken down just for agreeing with somebody, just putting an image up. Our channels are not the same. They're not hardwired the same. I want people to understand that these false equivalencies you guys are making are extremely dangerous. I say this to those white men and white women who have never, and white children who never interacted with black people. Y'all been misinformed for a very long time. Y'all follow these politicians left or right who are disingenuous and playing on your fears or your lack of knowledge. The other day, we see some white boys in Homewood, Illinois. Go to Homewood Flossmoor High School. They was caught doing blackface. Tell me what you see black kids doing, going to white neighborhoods, making fun of doing those white people. Y'all ain't gonna let it happen. So where's the equivalent at? There's no equivalent to that. But y'all love seeing black kids on social media attack other black kids, call each other out in derogatory names. Stuff. Y'all love that. Those videos in the millions. World Star. I'm not knocking World Star. It's a place for everybody, I guess. But y'all love World Star became so famous. Y'all like those type of videos. That's why those videos that whole channel is dedicated to nothing but idiot. I call it idiot porn. But see, they want to purge you off Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. They don't want us because some of us, myself included, we know the game. And I've been telling y'all, I said they're going to go after us next. I mean, they say anti-Semite. They don't say provocateur or no. They say anti-Semitic. Because they know that triggers people. I remember it was this Jewish woman used to be on YouTube. I don't know if she's still on here or not. I had did a commentary where I said Mr. Farrakhan called out some. I can't remember what it was. It was years ago. And she accused me of being anti-Jewish. Now, not one thing in the video that Farrakhan mentioned about Jewish people were I. And I said, I'm not anti-Semitic. I said, I didn't pull that I got Jewish friends crap. I hear people pull that I got this friend. I just said, I never denied the Holocaust happened. I never said anything racial. I just said, I agree with, I think it was about how you raise your children. You discipline, something to that fact. And she kept messing with me. And I said, why are you constantly coming? You trying to get me to say something that's inappropriate so you can sit there and see, I told you so. But I said, I'm not falling for that. She tried to call me out of my name, everything. And then when she realized I wasn't going to give in, she went to try to get my channel removed. And the powers that be over at YouTube dismissed it. She went and got her channel taken down. The point is, she wanted me to be something that I'm not. She wanted to project on me that I was anti-Jewish or anti-woman. I'm not those things. I'm anti-stupidity. I'm anti-evil. One of these days, we're going to sit back and say, those who claim to be our allies and friends, they cut our throats. The left is a joke, just like the right. This is why a lot of black folks don't want to see. Have you noticed? I haven't done a whole bunch of videos about the different politicians running because I'm not impressed because they pander to people. And unfortunately, some of these people they talk good game, but then when these politicians come out, pat them on the head, they go, golly gee, gosh, I believe him. No, I believe in her. No, I want tangibles. And I mean tangibles, something you can touch. We as black Americans have allowed people to come in and vilify us and each other. But you got to question yourself all of a sudden. Everybody talking about Mr. Farrakhan when he ain't said nothing about nothing. All because he said something about he don't agree with this person's life choice. But that's his business. But he don't go out there and tell you do harm to these people. I'm sick and tired of people lying on this guy. At the same time, he even stated, he said he's built to take this. But at the expense of what's going to happen, any of his videos, any images of him on the internet is going to be scrubbed. Watch. I'm telling you, I know what they're trying to do. That's why he need to get his lawyers. They need to get lawyers together. Because they can talk about freedom of speech. That's why I don't tell y'all to go do anything in these other new channels. They have a right to say what they're going to say. You have to be smart enough to push back against their talking points if you so choose to get in that type of debate with them. Now, people are going to think that I'm talking about shit, Alex Jones will come back. This is going to sound crazy, but yeah, they'll come back. And if people's dumb enough to fall for their rhetoric, that's on them. Hate speech. Y'all been cool for 30 years. Nah, what happened is too many of y'all being embarrassed. Y'all black folk like myself and people like Farrakhan and them been yelling for years. that chickens are coming home to roost. Now it's happening. Now y'all don't want to see nobody telling you that we told you so. That's what it is. And y'all trying to get covered because those people complain that, well, how did Alex Jones or Milo, the others get taken down? The Farrakhan. And y'all ain't never listened to a word Farrakhan. Y'all went by what the media said. And let me say this again. All y'all got Facebook channels, Instagram, y'all should come down if you can talk about violence and misinformation. Because these churches don't always get it right. I mean, these channels, these news channels don't always get them right. A lot of them purposely spread misinformation. But now you finna project on Minister Farrakhan and Nation Islam saying they hate speech, toxic, this and that. I'm like, come on, y'all. But I had warned y'all this is gonna happen. I said they're gonna go after Nation Islam next. You think they're gonna just go after these extremists? And if they gonna target only the right and Mr. Farrakhan, then you go after the left, because there's extremists on the left. Not this. I won't compare them to the Clinton on the right. No, but I'm talking about there are people out there that will push things to the limit to get their point across. But to sit here and keep putting all this hate on this man, I'm like, for a good 8 years, y'all done said a damn thing about Farrakhan. So and then all of a sudden these incidents that happen, y'all want to blame him for it. I highly doubt those white guys was watching Farrakhan stuff. But God don't like ugly. At some point, somebody gonna come along. They're gonna get into a debate. It's gonna be a televised debate. That's why some of us say, "Hey, we want y'all to interview us." I would love to get on TV and cause the hypocrisy of these companies and the media. But y'all need a villain. Y'all always find a black person to be the villain of the story, don't you? Boycotting Farrakhan, but y'all let all these other white folk run around for years spreading lies, reporters, news. If you're gonna go after Farrakhan, block him, you better go after ABC, CBS, and the rest of them spreading misinformation and hatred. Think about it, folks. They go after him, they're gonna come after us, and anything we say, they're gonna label as hate speech or as inappropriate conversation. All we just having a discussion. You cannot compare what black people talk about to those white wing extremists or the organizations. I told y'all this was gonna happen. I told you so. I told you so.